Whether you succeed or you fail, whatever happens in your life, it is all down to you. You are the one that is ultimately responsible for the outcome of your life. The very best way to predict the future is to create it. Don't let chance dictate your life. Take control of your life. Live the way you want to live. Don't let the environment and the surroundings and the conditions buffet you here and there. For anything you want in life, there is something you have to do to get it. When I went to have this haircut at my barber's here, I met this guy, Joe, and he was saying that, he wants to do charity to Ghana, and he's been looking, he doesn't know how to start, and that kind of thing. And you know what? He wasn't even talking to me to start with. But at some point, I had to chip in. And I said, you know what? Once you have a thought in your mind, and you keep thinking and thinking and thinking, and you start talking about it, it begins to appear. I've been doing that kind of charity for years. I know what you want to do. And then we hooked up. And then he's getting information from me, you see. He's been thinking. Some of you have an idea. You're wondering. Young people think that you have to have big money to go into business. No, you don't. Most of the people that are big today, they started with nothing. Sir Richard Branson was a newspaper boy, going around, dropping newspapers in people's letterboxes. He had nothing. But he had an idea. Once you have an idea, and you are so passionate about it, and you allow that idea to consume you before you realize, the resources and the support and the help and the people that you need will start appearing all around you. It's a law. It will happen. You see? Emerson said, a man becomes what he thinks about most of the time. If you always think about doing something, becoming successful, before you realize, there it is. You see? Become a magnet for good luck. You can become a magnet for good luck. The law of attraction says that you are a living magnet, and you inevitably attract into your life the people, the circumstances, the ideas and resources in harmony with your dominant thoughts. Whatever you are thinking about. I believe that some of you have persisted in coming because you have a success consciousness in you. You have the right mindset. At the end of the day, it's lunch break for all of you. So you have a good reason not to come. But you decided, hey, I went the first time, what I heard was good. I want more of it. If it means even foregoing my lunch, you won't die for skipping one lunch. It won't kill you. But for some people, it's a good excuse not to come. You see? For some people, they have other reasons not coming. But when you have a success mindset, you always persist. Yes. Some people think continually about what they want and seem to attract those very things into their lives. People who think and talk about what they don't want, their fears and their worries, or people who are angry and resentful attract negative and unhappy experiences into their lives. Many unsuccessful people, they are always thinking about what they hate, what they don't want, their fears, their angers, people that, they don't like. They're always talking about that. Have you noticed? When you see two Ghanaians or two Nigerians on the phone, they're always talking about a third person somewhere, isn't it? Always. Next time they meet him, how they beat him up and mash his face up. That's all we are doing. Is it any wonder that we are like we are? Negative thinking, fighting, hating. But when you do these things here, it's like you drinking poison and hoping that it will kill somebody else. You put these negative emotions inside of you. Who is it going to hurt? The other person who is in some casino somewhere doing poker. Doesn't even know that you are even thinking about him or her. You see, you are the one who's hurting. But negative people, unsuccessful people are always thinking about what they don't like, what they don't want to happen. And they are talking about it. They are afraid and that kind of thing. When you do that, they are always attracting what? Trouble and problems and disappointments. Continue to think positive. What you want in life. Think about that. Very soon you will see that it is appearing all around you. Think success. To be successful and happy, you must think and talk only about the things you want. The great future, the great job, the successful career, the millionaire status, the good health, healthy relationship, and a wholesome family life. Think about that. Even these days, people go into a relationship. I don't know whether this is going to work. I'm just going to try it. Don't do it. It won't work. It won't work. You know what? My attitude is that my relationships, my marriage will work until who die first? Usually the men die first, isn't it? Okay. But in my case, my wife will die first. But when she's very, very old, when she's very, very old. Hey, make sure you delete that later on because I'll play this video to my wife later. I should come in. Okay. But you know what? Does it mean that there's no challenge in my relationship? There is. Does it mean that sometimes I don't feel like walking away? I do. But I don't tolerate any of those choices. It's not an option. Walking away is not an option. Divorce is not an option. No matter how hard, once I made the first decision, I said I'm going to stick it out until the end. You see? If you don't go with that kind of attitude and say, these days, everybody's breaking up and that kind of thing, let's try whether it will work. Don't do it. It won't work. Because the moment the first trouble raises, I knew that. I told you all these boys are all the same. Why did you go for him then? You can't trust today's girls. Why did you select her then? You see? Yes. Discipline yourself not to think about and talk about the things you don't want. Whatever you don't want, don't talk about it. Don't think about it. If anybody asks you, this thing you are doing, do you think it's going to work? Your answer will be, why not? You start a business, you think it's going to work, why not? Well, I know somebody that did the same thing and didn't work. Well, that's them. I'm different. You are prepared. You go into a relationship, people from that side of the world, they don't make good husbands and that kind of thing. No, he is different. He's different. Whatever it takes to make him happy, I'll do. Whatever it takes to make her happy, I'll do. You listening? Yes. You see it when you believe it. Whatever you believe with conviction becomes your reality. It's like the thinking. William James of Harvard said, belief creates the actual fact. When you believe something so intensely before you realize, like thinking it happens, begins to appear in your life. If you absolutely believe that you are destined to be a great success in life, you will think and behave accordingly. And you make it come true by thinking and behaving successful. In some circles, they said, fake it till you make it. Have you heard that before? Yes. But this time, you are not faking it. You are actually living it. The manifestation may not have happened, but you are speaking success. You are thinking success. And when you do that, it begins to possess your mind. You are consumed about that vision. In fact, you begin to dream about it. That's that one thing about it. If there's a profession you want to do, get somebody who is successful, get their picture. Look at it every day. Paste it on top of your bed instead of that pop star or whoever. Paste it on top of your bed, on your wardrobe, everywhere. The bathroom mirror, paste it there. Look at it every time. Because you are seeing it, you are thinking it. As you are thinking it, you begin to say it. As you begin to say it, before you realize, there it comes. You've achieved it. There's no secret at all. Yes. If you confidently believe that you are a lucky person and that good things are continually happening to you, your belief will become the actual fact of your life. You know, some people believe that for them, their life is disaster. Only negative things happen to them. And because that belief has taken root in them, negative things keep happening. And they don't know that belief, and sometimes they even say it is what is perpetuating it, what is making it happen. It's not God who is against them or some evil something which is working against them. The fact that they are saying it, they are attracting those things. In fact, they are expecting negative things. I knew this thing will not work. I knew there will be disaster. I knew he's going to say no. You're going to meet the bank manager, and then you are thinking, would he give me? No, tell yourself, he will give me. I am presentable. I'm convincing. And my business plans are all laid out. There's no reason why the bank manager should say no to me. He's going to give me. And when you go with that expectation, guess what will happen? He'll give you. He knows that you know what you're talking about. You see what you believe. There were 2 salesmen that were sent from 2 different businesses to go to some country in Africa. I don't know which one. This is a long time ago. And one of them didn't want to make a trip. Didn't want to go to that area. You know. The other one was eager to go. Okay. When they went to the same country. And they both discovered that in that country, nobody wore shoes. That's not Africa. Nobody wore shoes. So the first one, who didn't want to go to start with, he sent a telegram. That must be, before Grandma was born, a long time ago. Sent a telegram back to head office. Listen to what he says. The trip has been wasted. There's no market in this country. Nobody wears shoes there. Before he left, he thought it was going to be, he didn't want to go, negative trip. The other person who wanted to go saw the same thing. Listen to what he said. He saw a real opportunity there and believed he could make something of it. And then he said, wonderful trip, market opportunity unlimited. No one wears shoes. If nobody wears shoes there, then obviously the whole nation is your market, isn't it? But the other person saw it as something negative. You see, your focus, your attitude will determine what you see. Somebody saw it, nobody wears shoes, so you can't do any business there. Somebody saw that nobody wore shoes. That's a great opportunity. You can sell to the whole nation. Why not? You see, thoughts objectify themselves. If you think about something over and over and over and over, they become the substance of what you are thinking about. How do you think we got microwaves and washing machines and freezers and airplanes and that kind of thing? Somebody taught them. There was no way. How would an airplane look like? Nobody knew. But the person that manufactured the Wright brothers, they had that idea in their mind. They thought about it. As you are talking about, your mind is drawing. It's bringing a picture together, what it should look like. And then one day, there you are. Now you can go to New York and back in 3 hours, when there was supersonic jet. Yes? So thoughts objectify themselves. Start every morning by saying repeatedly, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Let's say it together. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Let's say it. No, be serious. Fatima, we're not joking. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Say it again. I believe something wonderful. Okay, you know what? When you say this repeatedly over and over and over and over, when you step out there, positive experiences. People see your face, you are smiling, so they smile towards you. They want to do business with you. They want you to be their friend because you are a positive person. But if you come out of your room grumpy and everybody sees you, oh my God, stay away from him. Why are you angry? In fact, some students complain about some of the most experienced, friendly teachers the college has got. Some of them are my friends. And they say, that guy, he's always picking up. I say, what? There's no teacher like him. Do you know what you're talking about? He cares more for students than anybody I know. But they have problems with him. Where do you think the problem is coming from? Them. Them. You see? Even if it is true, you still have to work with them, isn't it? You need your passage to go to uni. You need a grade. So why don't you cooperate with them? And it's not true. These are positive people, helpful people, teachers that know what they are doing, but they have problems. And you know what? Not just with those, they have problems with everybody else. So who is the common, is it denominator? Them. You see? Them. You see? The power of repeated affirmation actually changes your thoughts. When you say something over and over and over, your mind comes to believe it, latches onto it, and then begins to draw the picture, begins to draw the rails for it to come together. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors, just as you become what you think most of the time, you also become what you say and believe. Whatever goals you set in your life, write them down. There's something about writing something down. When you write it down, it becomes a plan. It becomes a life statement. When you just think it, it's an intention. It's a hope. It's a thought. There's no substance there. Write it down. I tell students, write down the grades you want to get on your course. Write it down. Don't hope that an A will pop up from nowhere. Write it down if you want an A. And if you want an A, there's some way to do to get an A in it. You know that. You can't write down, I want an A, and you spend 100% of your time in the court, or in the zone, or in the smoking area. A students don't hang out there. Not all the time. You can go and release tension there. There's nothing wrong with that. But there are some people, you always see them there. Even lesson time, they are there. Lesson time. They come to the college. Their parents know they've come, but they don't enter the classroom. There are students like that. What do you think they are going to get out of Monox? And then they will say that Monox is the problem. It's not a good college. Meanwhile, some of their fellow classmates taught by the same teachers using the same textbook. In fact, they've never opened the textbook, isn't it? They don't know where it is. Are getting distinctions. You see? Yes. See, when you say something to your mind, it goes as a command to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind begin to what? Manufacture it, make it happen. You see? Okay. You know what? Poor people are poor because they are poor on the inside. Yes? People are poor on the outside because they are poor on the inside. From today, you are going to develop a rich success, great accomplishment mentality. It starts here before it will start around you. When you have that mindset, believe you me, nothing will stop you. Everything will be working in your favor to help you become. Somebody called Les Brown, sometime I have more to say about him. He said, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. This was a man, black man in America, that was dumped on some refuse heap somewhere, picked by a white lady and read, and brought up. Today he's a great, great man. Yeah? When life knocks you down, try to land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. If you can look up, you can get up. If you lie face down, you don't even see the stars. Everything is gloomy. But lie on your back, see the stars. Because if you can look up, you can what? Get up. It doesn't matter what knocks you down, you can get up. In fact, if you have failed before, it means that now you know a way how not to do it. So that should make you more intelligent, smarter. So failure is even a good thing. Successful people, when they fail, they don't complain and blame everybody else. They take responsibility and they say, what lessons are there to learn from this? How can this make me stronger? What experience can I gain from this? And next time when they start, believe you me, that failure become the platform for them to take off. Yes. And they soar like the eagle. You know what? Finally, because of time, take responsibility for your life. You are responsible for you. Like I started, know your parents, not the teachers, not the college, certainly not the government. It's down to who? You, yourself. Always tell yourself, I am responsible. If you are successful, you make it happen. The teachers are there to support you. Your parents are inputting. The government is doing its best. But you have to make it happen. Yes. I am successful. If you come late to a lesson, don't blame the bus driver. You are responsible. Yes. If your coursework is late, don't blame the teacher that gave you short deadline, because we know that when we give you long deadline, you still don't do it anyway. You understand? Give them 1 month. They wait out until the night before. What are you going to do about that? You understand? You think we are not smart? We know that. We know that. Yeah? Okay? And then certainly, don't let someone's opinion become your reality. The way people think about us. They think we are rubbish, isn't it? They think we amount to nothing. Don't let that come true. Prove them wrong. Mm-hmm. Yes? Yes. The way to prove your opponents wrong is massive success. When they think you can't do it, then you splash out. Your name is all over the place in the newspapers. The people that thought you couldn't do it, you put them to shame. There's no need going to defend yourself, going to say it's not true, you think I'm black and so on. Prove them wrong. By what? Massive success. Are you listening to me? Yes. Yes. Life has no limitations except the one you make yourself. Your talents, your abilities, there's no limitation. In fact, don't leave out of your memory. If you leave out of your memory, then you are remembering all the past, hurtful experiences and situations and all that. Leave out of your imagination. Imagination. Your imagination even thinks that you can fly, isn't it? Your imagination thinks that you can swim across the channel, isn't it? Your imagination thinks that you can do anything you want to do. Leave out of your imagination, because if you can see it in your mind's eye, you can create it. Yes. If you run around with 9 losers, very soon you become the 10th loser. But in the same way too, if you hang around winning people, successful people, very soon you would also be successful. I'll see you next week. Yes.